terabyte daily voice. Oh, let's get VL. Let's get VL.
Comment, baby? Girl. What?
You didn't sound like it. You gotta put your pinky up.
Girl. Hey!
Did you ever used to do that in elementary school? I used to always do that.
You guys are gonna have to leave this video for a second and then come back. I don't know if it's gonna be entertaining or not, but right now, your goal in life is to go to justincrew.com. What are you doing, Sabrina? I'm promoting a freaking contest right now. So go to justincrew.com, JUSTINCREW.com, and vote for us. If you go to the website, there should be a bunch of posts of people that covered Turn to You.
We will just leave you a link in the description.
Yeah, we'll leave you a link in the description
When you go
directly to ours. Or you can go to the website and look at the other ones if you want. You're gonna end up voting for us anyways because you guys are terabyte tiers, right?
You don't have to.
You don't have to. I'd be pretty sad if we just promoted you voting someone else because then we're losing in the competition.
It doesn't even matter. What matters is
so if you're not going to vote for us, just don't. But anyways, go to that website or the link, direct link to our post. But if you go to the website, you have to look for our post. And then you could vote by either liking with your Facebook, like log into your Facebook and clicking the like button that's down there, or clicking the tweet button, and it counts when you click it, and that's how people are voting. Or you could do both and get 2 votes in. And we're number 3 right now. We'd like to be number 1. And I don't know what the freaking prize is. It's probably nope. I don't think there really is a prize. But they said we will help the winner become a YouTube sensation, which I mean that's pretty nice. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be true about that, but I mean they got a lot of followers. It's Justin Bieber fan site, so they got a lot of followers on there, so they can probably do a pretty good job at making the winner a YouTube sensation. So I mean,
the believers believe.
I mean, I believe that they can make me a YouTube sensation, you know. So just go vote for us because I mean this could be our big break.
It sounded reversed.
It probably won't be our big break, but it could be. Is what I'm saying. So vote for us. I want to have a serious talk with you guys right now. Why am I shaking right now?
It's fun though.
What's fun?
It's a fun talk.
It is a fun talk. It's a seriously fun talk. So, there's been a lot of, like, not even just our videos, on other people's videos. It's like a really controversial thing that's really annoying, and there's always arguments about on everyone's freaking videos, and people are getting stuff mixed up, and they're all wrong, mostly. Everyone on YouTube gets crap when trolls hear something, a vocalist that they like. They immediately say, auto-tune, so much auto-tune. And that's how people default to. It's really quite annoying. We've said in the past that we don't use autotune, and that's not a lie. We don't use autotune. End of story. The thing is, autotune is a brand. It is Antari's autotune. What it does is when you sing into it, it automatically, like, you pick the key that you want it in. When you put autotune on your voice with that key, if it's the right key, then it automatically snaps to the closest note in the key, depending on what settings you pick. Like, you can make it snap harder or softer. And if it snaps harder, then it sounds clickier, so like T-Pain. And if it snaps softer, you can kind of get slightly more realistic effects out of it, but it's always going to sound like autotune. But I'm going to tell you this right now. But there's something I'm about to talk to you guys about that we use, and I can tell you right now, pretty much everyone else on YouTube that's singing is using it. It's just a way to feel good about yourself so you don't listen back to it years later and say, crap, that note was slightly different. Like, it's just so you get it the way you meant for it to be, and you don't have to spend too much time singing stuff over and over until you sing it exactly how you want it to be. Because no one wants to release a song with one wrong note. That could ruin their entire freaking, like, it plays mind games with you, and everyone's gonna give you crap for that one wrong note, you know? So you wanna make sure every single note is right. What?
Temperature thing popped up.
That's weird. We don't use autotune. That's a brand. But we do use a type of pitch correction called Melodyne. And I'm going to prove to you right now that it doesn't sound anything like it's auto-tuned when it's off. I mean, it doesn't sound anything like it's auto-tuned when it's on because it sounds pretty much exactly the same when it's off compared to when it's on. Mixing.
Oh.
Oh, The camera just died, so I
No,
kinda...
the battery
died.
overheated.
Oh, the camera overheated, sorry. So we switched to the 5D, that's why it probably looks a lot better all of a sudden. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you right now all the plugins I have on my current vocal for Justin Bieber's Turn to You cover that we did. Because there's actually a lot of talk about it sounding edited, and I agree, but I'm going to prove to you that it sounds edited not because of Melodyne,
I can't focus.
but because... It's back up a little bit. But because of a doubler that I have on it, which I'll explain to you in a second. This is my vocal track right here, a copy of DJ Vox. It's a copy because I made one and we just copy it over and over and we duplicate it and it puts copy before it. So here's the effects I have on it. I have Melodyne, I have a gate, and I have isotope nectar. A gate basically just takes out any unwanted noise that's quiet, so that way it doesn't have any extra stuff you don't want. And an isotope nectar is basically a mixing plugin. We just put a preset on it called Bright Electro Delay.
It just has space and delay on.
Yeah.
And levels, whatever that means.
It's like compression and loudness, and space is like reverb, and delay is basically an echo, sort of. And then this track is sent to a group channel track called Vocals, which is right here. And I click on that. I just turned all these off. So I'll turn it back on. Here's the isotope alloy, which is just like Nectar. I don't want to give away our secret settings that we use because it really brings it out. And then Avox Duo, which is the first time we've used this since No One Knows, and it didn't really stand out in No One Knows because I don't think we used that in all the vocals. But this time we sent everything to this vocal track, so all the vocals had a doubler on it, and I think that's what caused it to sound edited. And then ArcDev, which is a delay plugin that is really nice. So we have 2 delays on it, which isn't really normal, but whatever. Like we do these mixes so fast, it's not even funny. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play it soloed right now, just my vocal, with all the effects on it, so you can hear how it sort of sounds tuned a little bit, or edited.
You work 2 jobs to keep a roof up over our head. You chose a life from me, no you never gave up. I admire you for the strength you've instilled in me. You were so young, you were just my age when you had me, Mom. You were so brave, there was nothing gonna stop or get in our way. And I know you will always be there for me.
Alright, so that's with all the effects on. Now I'm gonna turn all the effects off. And you're gonna hear, it's gonna be raw, so it's not gonna sound as good as before, but it's not gonna sound bad.
2 jobs to keep a roof up over our head. You chose a life from me, no you never gave up. I admire you for the strength you've instilled in me.
There's just slight imperfections.
You were so young, you were just my age when you had me, Mom. You were so brave, there was nothing gonna stop or get in our way. And I know you will always be there for me.
Alright, now I'm gonna do all that stuff without Melodyne,
So without the editing.
but Duo is gonna be on, which is the doubler, which is what makes it sound tuned.
You work 2 jobs to keep a roof up over our head. You chose a life from me, no you never gave up. I admire you for the strength you've instilled in me.
See, now it sounds sort of edited.
You were so young, you were just my age when you had me, Mom. You were so brave, there was nothing gonna stop or get in our way. And I know you will always be there for me.
That part might sound edited, let's see.
You will always be there for me.
See, it sounds exactly the same with Melodyne on. For those of you wondering, Sabrina wants me to play her raw vocals, so I'm going to turn all of this off in the vocal track that all of our vocals are sent to. And then here's a copy of Sab Vox, which I'm going to turn Melodyne and Nectar off. So here's what I'm going to play for you. See, it's a copy of Sab Vox, so.
So when you're
Well, it's really quiet because all the compression's off. Hold on. Turn it up.
So when you're lost and you're tired, when you're broken in two, let my love take you higher, 'cause I still turn to you.
This is really low for her.
I still turn to you. Yeah, it was a really, really, really low key.
Whoa,
so I still turn to you.
So in this case, she benefited maybe a little bit more from Melodyne than usual because she was kind of struggling and
it's really quiet. I can't sing it powerfully, but I mean it's not like I didn't sing it.
People still would have been saying, "Oh, they use auto-tune."
The doubler just made it sound.
Yeah, it's just a doubler. So it makes no sense to me why anyone would say that.
Either way, you have to still be a good singer.
Yeah, if you're a bad singer,
it's still gonna sound bad.
auto-tune's not gonna save you, and Melodyne's not gonna save you. You can't be saved. I mean, listen to freaking
Rebecca Black.
Yeah, Rebecca Black. Listen to Lil Wayne. Do you think he sounds good? Oh, he sounds fantastic when he has. So,
jeez.
I mean, he used it as an effect. And so does T-Pain. And T-Pain's a good singer, but he uses it full on as an effect. But I mean, I think we could all agree that when Lil Wayne uses it as an effect, it doesn't really sound that good. I like how T-Pain uses it though. It sounds good when he uses it. I like how Drake uses it as an effect. But Drake kind of, I think he might tune it and use it as an effect. Like I think he might do a little bit of Melodyne, a little bit of both. So his is a better effect, kind of. Like his turns out a little bit better.
We don't use it as an effect.
We don't use it. Yeah, we use it to perfect slight imperfections.
Yeah.
So we don't have to sit here and sing it over and over and get everything exactly right. Because we don't want to feel like crap uploading something and realizing right after we uploaded it that there was one note that was wrong. It'll just bug us for the rest of our lives. And we put a lot of content out there. And I think that's how a lot of people think. And trust me right now, everyone that you listen to, I don't care what you freaking say, "Oh yeah, I know the producer." No, you don't. He secretly uses Melodyne in the background when no one's looking. I'm telling you that right now.
Tell him about Alicia Keys.
Or he uses auto-tune on graphical mode. But Alicia Keys, apparently she just released well, not just released, it's a long time ago. But
it was like a few months ago.
No, it was a while ago.
I thought it was like, maybe it was last year then. It was recently.
It might not even be her newest album anymore. But at the time when one of her albums came out, I used this board. It's like a message board called Gear Sluts, and there's a lot of like producers and stuff on there. And I went on there and I noticed a post about Alicia Keys. Make sure you're not blocking the mic or something like that. I noticed a post about Alicia Keys' new album that just came out, and there's a whole bunch of like big producers on there that were talking crap about certain songs on the album. They're like, she could use a little auto-tune. I mean, Alicia Keys is a good singer. What kind of producer doesn't stick auto-tune on, like, there's a lot of notes on there that just need to be fixed. Like, they were talking crap about her for not using auto-tune. And she's a huge singer, okay?
She's amazing.
Like, she's a really good singer. So, trust me right now, anyone that is a good producer uses some sort of pitch correction. And they were saying auto-tune because a lot of producers prefer the graphical mode and auto-tune over Melodyne, which is strictly graphical mode. There's not really an auto-tuning version of Melodyne, I don't think. So you can do that in auto-tune with the graphical mode, but then technically it's not really auto-tune anymore, even though it is, because it's not auto. It's just like you're drawing in and
well, we don't
picking where it
draw
goes.
it though. We just...
So we don't really like straighten the notes to the point where they sound tuned. We just sort of just push them where they're supposed to be, so that way...
Usually, okay, so like, look, here's the middle of the screen. Like, if we're like a little sharp or something, like up here, we make that note go towards the middle so it's right on pitch, instead of like flat or sharp or whatever.
And in the case of our Shaytards intro that sounded auto-tuned,
that wasn't...
We didn't have auto-tune. That was just straight...
harmonies.
Doubles on harmonies. We used the doubler on that one too. I remember. We had like a bunch of harmonies laid out, and we put a doubler separately on each track, which I think was a mistake because they all were slightly doubling differently, so it was phasing and it was causing some weird crap. But I think you'll notice if you listen to this cover, the Justin Bieber cover, on headphones, since it's
doubled left and right.
Yeah, since it's doubled left and right, and you hear separately the vocal over here and separately the other vocal over here, and it's not mixing in the space like if you use speakers, it sounds a lot less tuned and edited because you could hear the separate vocals. Also, if you're listening on stereo speakers, it sounds better than if you were to listen on a mono speaker, because then if you're listening on a mono speaker, then they're up jammed together. It's one stream rather than two streams. So it phases a little bit, I think. I don't know. But it sounds better with the doubler in my ears in the mix, because it just brings it out. That's something that we haven't really been keeping from you. People think we lie when we say we don't use autotune, but we're not lying, okay? So if someone says autotune, say, Don't say no, they use Melodyne. Just say they don't use autotune. Just that's all I have to say, because we don't use autotune.
And it's not even close. It's not even the same thing, and it's not even as effective. Like, not the word as effective, but it's not as intense.
Yeah, I would talk crap more about someone that doesn't use Melodyne or autotune than someone that does, if they use it right.
Yeah, but if you hear it, you hear how, if it sounds badly autotune, then they just can't sing, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, or they're using it as an effect. So that's our talk about autotune and Melodyne, and the misconception that people think that everyone uses autotune, when most likely I can almost bet that they're probably using Melodyne. But a lot of people like the graphical editor, but it's just kind of a pain in the butt for me because it's hard to use. Some people,
I've never even tried it. I don't know how it works.
There's other ways to do it too. I mean, right here in Cubase 6, I could just double click a track and click on, I think Very Audio is what it is. Oh, pitch and warp, I guess.
Click it, what happens? I
don't feel like screwing with it. I think it's this, yeah. See, now I could fix notes in here.
So this is almost what Melodyne looks like, and...
So
see how this is slightly, like, hold on, I can't hold the camera at the same time.
What it does is it puts a box around the area where, because this is my vocal.
You can see that slightly and not in the middle of the box.
I kind of like, I put a little vibrato on my vocals. So,
See, I just moved the box.
I don't know if you could see the orange under the black, but that's all it's changing. It's changing very slightly.
That's such a little amount.
The orange is the original vocal and the black is what it's changing. So, that's just to prove to you. See, that's a little bit more, but I mean, it's not that much. It's just bringing it down so it's closer to the middle of the note. It's not actually taking my vocal and compressing it to sound straight. It's just getting it closer to where the note should be, so that way it's not going to be off. Technically, it's not going to be off. I mean, I'm still hovering around it,
He's still pretty
but the
close.
average of the note is closer to the middle. You shouldn't be able to hear that, is what I'm saying, unless I change it a lot. There it is, tuned to their note.
Roof up over our head, you.
So you can't tell that that's tuned, but if I went like this, you could definitely hear it.
Up over our head, you.
Because if you change it too much, then the bend between here and here is more, it has to change too much, so you could hear it. But obviously also because it's so high that it can't.
But why would anybody do that?
Yeah, there's no reason to do that. This doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes like we record a whole song and then we do harmonies over it, and with harmonies it's really nice because a lot of times we're like, I don't really like that harmony, but I don't want to re-sing it, so I just want to move it up a couple half steps to a note that I like. And sometimes we might do that because it's a pain in the butt to re-sing something when we have to get a song up immediately.
We don't do a lot of harmonies usually though.
Yeah. So we're just opening up to you and telling you about it, because we feel like before if we brought Melodyne up, everyone would be like, see, they do use pitch correction. But couldn't think of a way to say it, because I mean, everyone uses it, so just trust me on that. And if you decide to argue and say not everyone uses it, you're lying. Or you're wrong, actually. I don't care what you say. No, you're wrong. Okay, maybe older music. Obviously. Because it didn't come out until recently. Listen to Taking Back Sunday. No auto-tune at all.
Yeah, and then your ears will... we know... Okay, we used to listen to it and think it was great, and now we listen to it recently and we're like, oh my god, my ears are...
Everyone's ears today is trained because of autotune and the fact that people are getting better at singing. Autotune and Melodyne make people better singers. Her vocal coach actually told her it's good that she uses Melodyne, because then you could see the notes and you could see it in your head while you're singing.
I often have to re-sing something. I go in Melodyne and I'm like, no, I better re-sing this.
Yeah.
So, and then I have it in my head.
She could hear how she was supposed to sing it, because she could hear the notes when she tunes it. So, Melodyne and autotune are in their places, and if you don't use them, then you're behind the game because everyone else is using them, and it's going to make you look bad because everyone else is using them.
In a way, it kind of sucks that it's like that.
Yeah, it kind of sucks
because you're expected to sound that way live.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that the perfection level is so high. But if you don't do it, then you're not stepping up your game, and you're below the line of people that are doing it, and they're gonna sound better than you. So it's just, you know what I'm saying?
It's getting to the point where like some people are using it live and you can't even tell.
Yeah.
Some people don't even know how to hear it.
Yeah. I mean, there's ways to use autotune to where you can't really tell that it's there unless you're used to hearing it. I always hear it.
Yeah, I always hear it too.
And it doesn't bug me because I'm just like, oh, he's using autotune.
Sometimes it bugs me when it's too messy.
I mean, sometimes if you use auto-tune and you sing the wrong notes, it's obvious because it snaps. Like,
you hear it and it's like, oh.
Yeah. So if there's any musicians out there that are avoiding using Melodyne or auto-tune, or Very Audio or whatever the heck, or even Waves Tune. I've tried that before and I didn't really like it. It was CPU hog. I would recommend using Melodyne. And if you are a musician and you're recording and not using Melodyne, then you might be missing out on that big break, because a producer might hear you and think, oh, this person doesn't sound as good as the other person that I heard, because that one note was slightly off, and that could ruin your entire life. So
that might not be true. It's a little exaggerated.
Well, I mean, it's a freaking war, and to be on the top, you got to use the right stuff, and this is the right stuff. These are professional tools, guys. Everyone's using them.
I know Paramore uses it.
Definitely. She doesn't use it live. She's stated that many times that she doesn't use it live. Notice that she has to go out of her way to say that she doesn't use it live, because if she doesn't say it, people will give her crap, and they're like, oh, she's using autotune. So if she says it, then they're like, oh, she doesn't use autotune, she's a good musician. For some reason, if you don't use autotune, you're a good musician. But I bet those are the same people that listen to someone's CD that doesn't happen to use autotune, and they think that they're not professional just because they don't use autotune and some of their notes sound off. They're, oh, she's a bad singer. But she's better. And they don't know that the person they think is better is using autotune. That's just how it works.
Holy crap!
I'm saying autotune now because I'm so used to everyone saying, oh, autotune. Pitch correction.
That's the correct term.
Use the word pitch correction, not autotune. Because autotune, like I said, is a brand. Pitch correction is what all these are. Go listen to Taking Back Sunday. Go listen to Brand New.
Brand New sounds good though still.
Yeah. But Brand New.
Brand New is good.
You can tell it's raw. The older Brand New. And then the newer Brand New, I think they might have used a little bit of pitch correction, but I'm not sure if autotune was out then. I think there were like types of autotune that were kind of out, but it wasn't autotune, and they didn't really work that well. That's probably what they were using, maybe not. Is their newest album the one that has sowing seasons or whatever?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Either way.
I'm not sure. They might not have used autotune that one, but it's one of those things where you just gotta use it or you're behind. So I just realized that I probably didn't explain what a doubler does and why it sounds weird. This is what our doubler is. It's Avox Duo. I got it in a pack a long time ago. We've only really used it on No One Knows and Shaytard's song, which we didn't use it that much on No One Knows. Even on No One Knows and Shaytard's, we got crap about using autotune, so I think this might be the culprit, because we put on every track on Shaytard. So check it out. So this is Avox Evo Duo. It comes in a pack with a bunch of other plugins from Avox, and basically you choose your vocal range or whatever. I don't even really edit that, so I don't know if it matters much. It takes your vocal and duplicates it, brings one to the left and brings one to the right, and then normally if you were to just bring one to the left and one to the right, like if you were to just do it yourself and duplicate it and pan one left, pan one right, it would definitely sound really weird because it would have phasing, and you're not supposed to do that. Some people do that and then push one over just a little bit so it's slightly off to the side, so that way it sounds wider. It's a way of doing doubles, which is like a vocal technique without recording your vocal twice, which is actually the best way to do it, but a lot of people don't have the time to do that, and some people just like the sound of a doubler over actually recording their vocal twice. Some people can't sing the same thing as close as you would want it for a double, because it has to be like pretty much exactly the same singing. So this is a way of doing it without having to sing it twice. You just put it on your vocal, and it does separate them a little bit so they're slightly timed differently, but then it changes the pitch a little bit so that way they sound different pitch-wise, and it changes the timing more. Like, I think it doesn't just move it, I think it actually changes it moves it around a little bit. I don't know how it works. And you can pick vocal to timbre and vibrato. So it makes it a little bit easier to do doubles. So it sounded better when I was mixing, especially with headphones on, since it's separate in each ear. I personally think it sounds better with a doubler, but it does sort of phase a little bit, I guess. Maybe I'm not using it right, and that might be why it sounds odd. Well, that is why it sounds like we're using autotune to a lot of people, because it just gives it a weird, phasey, technical sound to it that doesn't sound natural, I guess. But it brings it out, so it's kind of like I'm not really sure what to do. I guess we'll just actually sing doubles, but it's a pain in the butt to sing a song all the way through and like, oh, I gotta sing it again and make sure that it's perfectly lined up, because doing doubles is a pain in the butt, because if you don't sing exactly right, you could tell that it's doubled and it sounds weird. So like you have to go back and like re-sing parts to make them exactly right, because it's just hard to sing something exactly the same timing, you know? I don't know. Oh, this is weird.
So I was walking by and then I heard a whistle, because she's been whistling out of her nose, and there's Chrissy hiding in here. What are you doing, Miss Thing? DJ's gonna have allergies. He can't be in here. No, you cannot be in here.
I just want to throw this in there really quick. Even though most of you Layer by Tears are really nice, and you wouldn't really say anything like this. If any of you decide to comment below, our Melodyne version sounded edited and it sounded better than the original version, and you think, and you say something like the recorded version without Melodyne sounds bad and we're bad singers or something and we need Melodyne or something, you're just a really picky person, and you're the reason why Melodyne and Auto-Tune are so needed and why everyone uses it, because you're the type of person that causes it. Just want to get that out there.